There he is, the Hall of Famer, the Big Hurt, number 35. Frank Thomas, always good to see you. Let's start with who you're working with today, which I think is apropos to your career, Frank, because you're working with Verilex, which is the number one recommended progressive lens by optometrists and opticians. You never swung at a pitch 1 inch off the plate, Frank, so I'm kind of surprised you even need a little bit of assistance these days.
Well, back then I had perfect vision. But as you get older, you get presbyopia, and it's a condition for tired eyes. And for me, didn't realize it to the age of between 45 and 47. Text messages became blurred. Reading the USA Today became blurred. And frankly, I thought something was wrong with me. But it's team eye doctor told me, no, you're old. You have old eyes. This is very common. And it's time for you to think about glasses. And I'm really happy with this partnership with Verilex because it has really helped change my vision, and I'm excited about that because I'm on TV all the time looking at monitors and everything else. I needed the help.
You just named a couple things that I want to follow up on. Number one, do you get the actual USA Today paper, or does Frank Thomas read the stuff online? Or are you just old school like that? Because this is an old...
Well, until about 47, 48, I used to get the paper delivered.
Yeah.
But now, I'm online just like everyone else. Okay. Times have changed.
Times have changed. Okay. My 95-year-old dad, he still gets the paper, but he's never changed it. But
well, in the airport, there's most of the shops still carry it. So if it's in the airport, I'll grab one.
There you go. There you go. So you're headed off to Iowa for the Field of Dreams, the White Sox and the Yankees. This ticket is the hottest regular season ticket in a decade plus. What is it? I guess for an old school guy to have a game there and the movie and the White Sox being a part of it, what does it mean to you?
It's great. And I've been up there a few times in Dyersville for charity softball games in the past. And the people there, they really love it. They respond, they come out and cheer. So this is big for their town and their city. And to have two great baseball teams there who are playing really well with a chance of going deep in October, it's a special moment for Major League Baseball to have these two teams there with their fans.
Did you get a little extra when you saw the pinstripes?
Of course you did. I mean, you're playing the New York Yankees. They're, the world champions 28 times. So the bottom line is, they're going to bring a good team, and they have the resources to continue to restock their team. So for us right now, with the White Sox been as good as they've possibly been in a very long time against a big-time New York Yankee team, it's going to be a special moment in time.
So everybody wants to, look to the future here, Frank, and the near future with the White Sox. Do you think this team is set up, built, ready to win a World Series right now?
Yes. I think offensively they just, got healthy, which is very important. But you look at what Tony La Russa has done all year, patchworking guys out of the minor leagues and pickups, and got to perform at a high level. You got to like their chances. Now the stars are back. They're swinging the bat really well. Noticeably, Eloy Jimenez, who's the biggest weapon in the lineup, to have him back healthy, because I thought he would have a big breakout year before he got injured this year. I was looking at him to drive in 120 runs and hit about 40, 45 home runs. So we're seeing that now when he's healthy. This lineup is tough to deal with.
It's not exactly the same, but he's got a little bit of a Frank Thomas extension, right? Eloy.
Oh, he has big time power. He's one of the strongest kids I've ever seen. I went to the cage with him like a year ago, and to hear the sound of the bat off his bat is something you don't hear all the time. He's got that Acuna pop. Both of those guys are Dominican kids with tremendous upside, but to hear the sound of the bat, the ball jumping off the bat is something special to hear. And he hits majestic home runs. So yes, I'm a fan of Eloy Jimenez because he's refreshing with his personality. But what he provides at offense with Jose Abreu and Tim Anderson is priceless.
What do you do as far as the outfield, Frank? Do you let him play left at least some? Let's come playoff time, or do you do?
Yes, he's got to be in the field. He's a much better player when he's in the field. You want his bat 100%, so he needs to play left field. He'll compensate for defense. He's going to drive in more than he's going to let in. He's that type of player, but he provides that security for Jose Abreu and the rest of the lineup.
So it's interesting, right? Because there's a huge adjustment to being a full-time DH. I know you didn't love doing it, right? I did late in my career, full-time, and it's tough.
It's pinch hitting 4 times a night. You have to put your mind in a different place. But it took thousands of at-bats to be comfortable to do that. You can't do it full time. Early in my career, I would, play first base 4 or 5 days in a row, then DH one to get off my feet, and it worked well. But as I got older, it was great to have that experience of DHing, and then you had to find ways to keep yourself involved in the ball game so you feel like you're part of the ball game when you go up there for those big at-bats.
Do you want or do you think baseball should go to the universal DH, by the way?
Yes. I do not want to see pitchers hit. The bottom line is the pitchers are making more money than anyone nowadays for what they do out in the field. They shouldn't be hitting with a chance of injury.
Yeah. All right. We got left field figured out. Then what are you doing in right? Game 1 of the playoffs or game 7?
That's probably number 2. Young Andrew Vaughn has just showed up as a big-time player. He's going to be on the field majority of the time. So
you'd have Eloy in left, Vaughn in right, Robert in center. You're not worried about that defense?
No, we got Adam Engel. We can bring out the bench and play great defense late in the ball game.
All right.
And you got Goodwin, who's a natural center fielder also. Both of those guys, when they platoon, you don't lose anything.
I got it. So you're winning. You bring those guys in later.
Yes.
A lot of people, when Tony was coming in this year, Frank, they're like, he's too old. The game's passed him by. And here the White Sox sit with as good of a chance to win the World Series as anyone else. Do you look at it like, A, everyone was wrong, and B, by the way, having that dude in the dugout come playoff time, the Sox have an advantage?
No, I never flinched because I know he's a winner. He's always been a winner, and he's always had the heartbeat of his club. So he wasn't away from the game. Most people thought he was away from the game. He was in the front office with the Angels and the Boston Red Sox through Boston's championship a few years ago. So Tony's he's big time in baseball. I went to the Hall of Fame with him. I sit right next to him a couple of years. I always pick his brain about baseball. He's really sharp when it comes to the game of baseball. So coming in October, you will not be outmanaged. And he's done a hell of a job with this team.
Just for the record, I wrote it at the time. It's like 39 weeks ago. This is going to work out. He could not have forgotten baseball in his 8 years not being in the dugout. Just didn't make any sense to me.
No, he lives for baseball. Trust me, he's a guru. And he's one of those guys that, hey, when it comes to baseball, he's got all the answers.
So is part of his job taking pressure off these guys right now? Because, listen, if you look at Vegas, the White Sox, depending on the odds, they're either second or third. I mean, the expectations are growing right now. It's a young team for the most part. So that amount of pressure being on the club, does that?
I don't look at his pressure because they're that talented. When you got a lights out pitching staff, the entire staff, you don't see any weak links to throw out in the field. You're going to win more ball games than you lose when you got a pitching staff like that. But now they got a dynamic offense to go with it.
So I think I was talking to your partner on TV, Ozzie Guillen, at one time about the 93 team. And you guys had a great chance to win the World Series that year, and probably even a better one in 94 with the strike. But the way that the rotation was set up against the Blue Jays, I think, you had McDowell going earlier, no shot at Jack, but matching up well against Toronto, maybe that was not the best choice at the time. And we don't know who the White Sox are playing right now, but how do you determine who's pitching game 1 in your mind, Frank, as far as, who's been here the longest or who's the hottest at that time? How do you think they'll do it? How would you do it?
Who's the hottest? And to be honest, Lance Lynn has been hot all season long. So it looks like it's going to be Lance Lynn game 1, Rodon game 2. And then you look at Cease or Giolito for game 3. It depends on the lineup. I mean, they have it all. Keiko could pitch game 3 if there's too many left-handed hitters. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that this team has incredible pitching. And you never know what Michael Kopech, what he might be doing in October. I mean, he is a guy that's lights out, has been a starter his whole life, but he's fitting in well in the bullpen.
And the back end, as far as Hendricks and Kimbrel and both those guys accepting that one of them's not going to be the closer, how does that play
it's
out?
tough for me. I really look at I'm going with the hot hand. I would like to use both of those guys in closing situations. Depends on you look at analytics a lot. They've handled these guys. You look up and say that, hey, Kimbrel's dominated these guys. I want him in tonight. Or, Liam Hendricks, he's dominated these guys. I want him in on the night. Keep both of those guys involved because they're both great closers, two of the best in the game.
So but a lot of guys, they like that defined role, right? They know ninth inning, it's me. They know.
I think that's overrated. This is Major League Baseball, best of the best. It's about getting 3 outs. When you got 2 guys that have done it so well, it's one of those things that get them out there. But I don't want to, delegate Kimbrel to the 8th inning because he's been the best closer in baseball this season. He came to the White Sox with an 0.49 ERA, with only blown 1 save all year. So it's tough to tell him, you're gonna only set up. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Is Chicago a White Sox town right now?
I mean, I don't think so. You know that. I mean, it's always been a Cubs town. It's on that side of town has always been fun and giggles and the bar scene, and it's something to watch over there. Wrigley's a beautiful place, especially now if you haven't seen it. But as for we call ourselves on the South Side, real baseball. Well, either you win or you lose, and the fans won't show up.
Yeah, it's because some people are saying,
if you win, they will show up in groves. If you're not playing well, they're not just coming to hang out.
Yeah, no, they're historically they most definitely are not. I'm wondering if times are changing, though, just maybe a little bit, but perhaps that's a little too tall.
I mean, you go to Wrigley, they win or lose, they're going to drink the booze. They're going to be over there in all those bars around Wrigley.
Yes, they are. All right, let me wrap up with one more concern on the field. Who's your backup catcher, Frank, coming to the playoffs here?
I mean, I'll be honest. I like both of these guys, Collins and the new kid, but the new kid can really call a baseball game. He's keeping that scoreboard down really, really low. So that's going to be a heck of a decision. Zavala has been incredible keeping that run total down with the pitching staff.
Yeah. All right. Dyersville, Iowa, the Field of Dreams game. Let's just go old school, Frank. Back when you played, guys were able to police the game. Nowadays, you throw inside, great chance, or especially if you hit someone, 5-game suspension, 10-game suspension. Does baseball need to rewind this? I don't think they will, but should they?
We'll see going forward. But the game has changed. It's a little softer than it was back in my time. You were able to police it. You flip a bat, you got drilled. But those days are over. So I don't see any big changes here in the near future because the game has changed.
If Frank was playing today, would you still put the head down around the bases the same, or would you have a little more fun?
Of course. Act like you've been there. That's what I was all about. I hit home runs in batting practice all day long. So hitting one in the game, I expect it.
And you also led the league in doubles. I mean, there was no uppercut. Frank Thomas was trying to hit line drive.
About hitting. But like I said, if I hit a home run, it was from techniques and hard work. We got the technique down and you're hard working. I mean, those things should happen.
All right. Frank, great to see you. Love you on TV. Did the 05 White Sox win it without Ozzie, by the way? I feel like he was
no.
They don't, right?
No.
I feel like Tony's
did his job that year.
He, the nose was pointed down in September, and he helped pull him out of it. Took a lot of heat on it.
He was great at taking pressure off the team.
Yeah.
That's why he said a lot of things down the stretch he wanted to, so the players can relax to go out and play.
Well, you guys are – I feel like the NBA on TNT has come to Chicago with the White Sox postgame show.
Well, we have a lot of fun. We just know each other very well.
Yeah, it's great stuff. All right, Big Hurt, good to see you partnering with Verilux today, the #1 recommended progressive lens by optometrists and opticians. Seeing you clearly today, Frank, and back at you. So we appreciate the time.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep.
EssilorUSA.com. Remember that. Check it out.
Got you.